Hey, look at that. It's the Wells Fargo pony right in my house, right? Today I was at a real estate conference with Wells Fargo. Thank you so much for the invitation, Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo. I appreciate that. Tamela Thurman from Freddie Mac on affordable housing. Wow, did we get a lot of really good information. I'm going to share some of this with you because everyone's asking, like, is the bubble bursting? Is it another bubble? Are we gonna break? What's going on, Roxy the realtor? I'm gonna share some stuff with you that you're gonna go, wow, that's really good to know. So here's some real estate stats for you. 60%, man, that's a lot, right? Out of 100 people, 60%, 60 of them think you still need 20% down payment to buy a house. Hello, it's 2019, people. Yeah, that is a myth, a misconception about real estate. You do not need 20% down payment. In fact, here in the wonderful state of Minnesota, we have out a program called MHFA, Minnesota Housing Finance Program, that gifts you down payments, a down payment assistance program. So you guys, you can get in for like $1,000, $2,000. It all depends on your situation, but there's plenty of money out there for you. And I'll help you find it, okay? So you do not need 20% to buy a house. So quit talking about that. Talk to me if you have some questions about buying a house. So another interesting thing that has come about is the lower 3% conventional programs that are out there. So now if you did want to put money down and you, let's say you made too much money to be able to qualify for MHFA, and by the way, the guidelines for MHFA program is very, very forgiving. We've had many people use that. But if it's not an option for you, there are 3% conventional programs. What does a 3% conventional program mean to you? Of course, lower mortgage insurance. But here's some really interesting stuff. This is why we're where we're at with a really low inventory. It's like, what's going on? Here's a couple things. Our average 65 plus community is staying in their house. They are no longer moving on to a assisted living facility or care facility. That's really interesting. Our young people fresh out of college, you know, that first-time home buyer, where are they, right? We need that first-time home buyer that gets everything rocking here. But where is that first-time home buyer? You know where they are? Up to their neck in student loan debt. They're not able to buy a house. In 2016, 15% of all millennials after college had to move back home. Now we're looking at about 25% of all millennials after college live with their parents. And that number is expected to rise up to 35% here shortly. That's a big difference. 1.6 million people nationally would love to buy a house, but you know what? Our wages have not kept up with the housing prices, despite the tight labor market that we're in. Right now we have unemployment rate at about 3.8%. So despite the tight labor market, which also causes salaries and benefits to rise, hasn't happened at the pace that our housing prices have escalated. This is a big one. This is a really big one. You think where we're having this most difficulty with people who are in homes priced from $275 to $390. Their next purchase is having to, to upgrade. They're looking at $450, $550, and they just don't want to do it. And that's because collectively, our home equity cushion has grown, keeping people very comfortable where they're at. Our refinance have way outpaced at about 50%. Refinances have outpaced purchases. So there's just some real estate fun facts for you. If you guys ever want to know anything, just give me a buzz. Always learning, always growing, always keeping my ear to the ground here in real estate. Thank you so much for your support over the years. Give me a buzz. Again, we can talk about down payment assistance. We've had a lot of really awesome families get into homes this year for under $2,000. I'll help you too.